Hello guys, what is up? Welcome back to another stream. I thought it could be interesting today if we go over all of this new stuff together. I have honestly no idea what we're going to see. I'm crossing my fingers, as I'm sure most of you guys are. I do want to say one thing though before we start this, and that is, like, no matter what we see, even if it's just a trailer, okay, if we don't see any gameplay, just keep the hype trains stationary. Let's not leave the station just yet, okay? Because we all know what happened with Battlefield 2042. We saw the Rondazook, and I'm not, yeah, of course, I was definitely one of the people as well who kind of lost it and called that it was going to be an amazing Battlefield game going back to the modern era, and then it was Battlefield 2042. So even if this is super exciting and we get to see gameplay, I'm still going to try and keep myself down on the ground, but of course, I'm excited to see what they've got for us, right? So we've got about 15 minutes to go here. Sorry there's no webcam or anything today. I'm sort of between setups right now, so I haven't gotten my whole OBS set up again, but it will be back again in the future. But welcome in, everyone. How are you all doing? Captain, greetings from Germany. Hello, mate. Greetings from Iceland. I need this to be good. Yeah, I think we all really need this to be good. And when I say all of us, I mean EA and DICE as well. I mean, good lord, they really need a win right now. Man, Battlefield is back. I don't care what anyone's saying. Well, I don't know, man. I don't know. I would wait and see. Then again, it depends what you thought of Battlefield 2042. Oh, come on, you know we're going to fail at that. Yeah, we may actually. It is hard. I know it's difficult to not get hyped up over things because the Battlefield cinematic, the trailer team, they're just so good at what they do as well, aren't they? They knock it out of the park every single time. So how can you not get excited about that? But, you know, you've got to remember that it's not gameplay. Now, that being said, we might see gameplay, and we're going to go over a couple of articles here since we have some time. Yo, Crash, what's up, mate? I'm good, dude. How are you doing over there in the US of A? Other side of the pond. Must be kind of early for you now, right? I guess you gotta get up early for the announcement, though, right, dude? Not every day this kind of thing happens. So I've got a couple of Insider Gaming articles here. The one and only Tom Henderson, of course. First of all, this has leaked. I've posted this on Twitter as well. It's not really leaked. I mean, DICE kind of leaked it themselves. So what this is it is a splash screen from Battlefield 4. When you log into BF4, you get a splash screen. I'm not sure if they've now taken it down. I believe they did this by accident. This may no longer be there anymore. Let me check my Twitter here because we can actually read what it says in the little splash screen here. So it says Battlefield Labs. That is what the new initiative is supposedly going to be called. And it says it's a new exclusive testing environment connecting a selected number of players directly with our developers. You'll test while providing us with crucial feedback in order to make the best Battlefield possible. We're kicking things off with players in Europe and North America before we're looking to expand in the future. While spaces are limited, we encourage everyone to sign up. So, yes, this is definitely going to include anybody. This is not just going to be content creators. This is not just going to be hand-selected people from the community. You guys are going to be able to playtest as well. At least that's what it looks like, and that's my understanding when I read this paragraph. But I know it's going to bum out a lot of people that it says it's only going to be Europe and North America to begin with. All the Oceania crew, they're going to be pretty pissed off about that, I can imagine. And it also sounds like there are limited spaces available, so people are going to have lots of questions about that. How many spaces are there going to be, etc.? Let's have a little look at the article here because Tom's got a bit of inside information about what we may or may not see. Yeah, if you go on the QR code, by the way, for that link, it just takes you to a 404 link, which is presumably some sort of an article. So I don't really know what we're expecting. Like, are we going to get a video? Are we getting an article of some description? Is it just going to be a statement? What's going to be in the video? Is it going to be dev talk? Is it going to be trailers? I have no clue. It's up now? Wait a minute. I've got the... Okay, there's no video there at least. Where is it up? Where are you seeing it, Crash? Because there's nothing at the top of my Twitter at the moment. And I've got the Battlefield notifications on. Or is it just a video, it's like starting soon? Okay, it'll probably be up in a couple of minutes anyway. Yeah, at the moment it takes you to a 404 link, and he says that it's going to contain a 4 to 5 minute video explaining Battlefield Labs, as well as 10 to 15 seconds of pre-alpha gameplay. So that's going to be pretty cool. Pre-alpha gameplay, I hope it's not going to be something scripted. Wait, if you scan the QR code, it works now? Wait, what? That's weird, though. Surely that would be released also, like, on the official Battlefield channel and whatnot. Oh, thanks for the link there. I couldn't scan this. Okay, damn. So the link does go somewhere now. Let's just go straight to sign up now. I would recommend, guys, hitting that link up that Collie just posted in the chat and signing up for this. Okay, so this is just the Electronic Arts playtesting. I think a lot of you will already be signed up for this. I don't know if they changed this, but I'm pretty sure that I'm already signed up for this one. I think this has been around for like a long, long time. Usually these are where you get invited to actually go to the studio. What Discord link is this? Is this just the official? Okay, that's just to the official Battlefield. It's not a different one. Okay, what is Battlefield Labs? Battlefield Labs is our most ambitious community development collaboration ever, where a select number of fans will step inside the war room. Registration is now open, guys, so go get registering. I don't know if it really matters what time you do it. Maybe it doesn't, but hey, maybe it does. While we encourage everyone to register, space will be limited. So here you can see what it looks like some people taking place in one of the local playtests, probably in Guildford in the UK, or possibly over in Stockholm. Want to learn more? Oh yeah, we're definitely checking out that FAQ. Battlefield Labs is a large, ambitious project, and you may have questions about it. Check out the most frequently asked questions. Okay, we'll put that on the back burner for a second, and sign up for a chance to play. We're kicking things off with players and servers located in Europe and North America before looking to expand in the future. Stay connected and get the latest updates on Battlefield Labs on our Discord. Okay, so not really a huge page here. Let's go check the FAQ. We've got 9 minutes at the moment to their announcement. 1 second. Let me have a swig of water here. Get down off the table, Lopper. Blooming cats. Let me go paste you guys a link to this again, because it's some people who just come in the chat right now. There you go, guys. Okay, so what is Battlefield Labs? Our most ambitious community. We just read this, right? We want to build Battlefield with our community. So it is a space for play and exploration, an environment where we can test concepts and mechanics with our players before we release them publicly. So it's basically the CTE, or the community test environment. Our community is at the heart of Battlefield. Their feedback is crucial in helping us know what to prioritize, what to improve, and what feels like an authentic Battlefield experience. Why is Battlefield Labs launching now? It's launching now as we enter a critical phase in development with what's next for Battlefield, where we're looking to cross-collaborate with the community like never before. Now is the time to test big areas of the experiences our teams have been building for our upcoming launch. So let me just say, I really like that they're doing this. Whether they're able to deliver on this vision and the feedback is another question entirely, one that remains to be answered. But I do like the fact that they are saying, okay, this time we're going to work with you, okay, which is the opposite to what happened, of course, with Battlefield 2042. So how can somebody be part of this? Sign up is now available at this link ahead of our first external test sessions in the coming weeks. Interested players can also join the Battlefield Discord server for the most up-to-date information about Battlefield Labs, so definitely recommend being in there. Most of you will be already, I'd imagine. Before you sign up, make sure your EA account is updated and linked to your platform account, as you cannot sign up for playtesting without an EA account. I do wonder if this, by the way, is only PC, or it's going to be PlayStation, Xbox, everything. The goal is to invite players, both veteran Battlefield players and those that have not played before, but not everyone that signs up will get invited. Okay, what platforms? So it's going to be PC via the EA app. So, like, I guess they'll give you an account. Like, if you own the game on Steam, I guess they'll just give you a special playtesting account. PlayStation 5, PlayStation Plus subscription required, of course, and then Xbox Series X and S. So that's awesome. Everybody's going to get the opportunity to play there. 1 second, guys, just let me refresh the YouTube page, make sure we're not missing made the major announcement here. Is it invite only, or is it only open to or is it going to be open to the public? So it's invite only. Sign up is available now. Blah blah blah. Ahead of our first external test, and interested players can join the Battlefield Discord. Yeah, okay. So that's kind of what we've already been over there. Is it open to all regions? No, as we've already been over. At the moment, it's only in Europe and North America. Ahead of plans to expand server locations alongside invite numbers growing to tens of thousands in the future. So that's quite a lot of people right there. I think I've still got a link in my pasted here. Yeah, there you go, guys. Okay, how many people are actually going to be able to participate in what countries? So it's going to be a few thousand players, both veteran and those that have not played before. Europe and America, they're kind of going over what they've already said here, but I guess they want to be incredibly thorough with this. Once invited, how often will participants be able to play in Battlefield Labs? So if you're invited, you will receive an email from playtesting@ea.com with more details about getting ready to play and how to share feedback. There will not be a rigid cadence for test sessions, but the plan is to run sessions that are at appropriate times for different players in different regions and build to allow for repeated testing every few weeks. Test sessions scheduled will be predefined and communicated directly to Battlefield Labs participants ahead of time. So they're going to give you a heads up on exactly when these playtests begin. All of Europe, it doesn't say all of Europe, it just says Europe and North America. I assume that means all of Europe. Yo, Nico, what's up, mate? There is a video, but it doesn't load. Okay, let me check. Twitter here. Is that... Okay, that's to that one. Cheers, Crash, for that, mate. Let me just go to the official Battlefield Twitter. Let's refresh that instead. Okay, there's nothing there yet. Okay, what kind of gameplay experience will Battlefield Labs participants get? As an early test of concepts and mechanics before public release, Battlefield Labs will be work-in-progress content with rough edges, bugs, and crashes. Well, we're used to that, aren't we? So it's not going to be much different. Battlefield Labs content will be tested at a time in our development when it's critical for us to cross-collaborate with our community, with their feedback, being crucial in helping us know what to prioritize, what to improve, and what feels like an authentic Battlefield experience. Again, I just want to reiterate that I really hope they can actually listen to the feedback, because giving feedback is one thing, them gathering the feedback correctly and then iterating on it is another thing entirely. Yeah, you can register now, guys. So, oh, the page is overloaded. Oh god, I better not go ahead and refresh it then. That's crazy, actually, if just the FAQ page is overloaded. But yes, I believe you can just type into Google like EA playtesting and it should pop up. If it doesn't load up, it's probably because it's overloaded though. Okay, how will the Battlefield Studios development teams be gathering feedback and sharing that? Just to clarify, by the way, guys, in the chat, we haven't had the actual official announcement yet. There's going to be some sort of a video, I believe. This has DICE have kind of fumbled it a bit, and I guess let the cat out of the bag a little bit too early here. So we've gotten the FAQ before we've seen the actual announcement. So that's why we're reading this at the moment. Okay, so this is actually very important to what I was just talking about. So for players invited to join Battlefield Labs, they will be able to offer feedback directly and securely to the development teams and with other members of Battlefield Labs in a private Discord. Battlefield Studios development teams will be looking at all feedback provided during and after Battlefield Labs tests to inform what we need to prioritize, what we need to improve, and what we need to change to make it an authentic Battlefield experience. Good. That's what we want. We will be publishing public recaps and updates on learnings along with actions being taken by the Battlefield Studios development team so that even those who are not selected for Battlefield Labs can still come along on the journey. Interested players can join the Battlefield Discord server for the most up-to-date information about the Battlefield Labs. So that's kind of cool, even if you don't get selected to playtest, and bear in mind they are going to be ramping this up to potentially, like they've said, tens of thousands of people. Even if you're so unlucky as to never get in, at least they're going to fill us in on what they've been iterating on and what they've been changing with the game. Probably, again, to, build support and loyalty and whatnot. It's up? Oh, wait a minute. Cheers. Oh, damn, dude.
Defending that last point in breakthrough.
You and your squad going together, trying to accomplish something.
Helicopter crashes into the building next to you, and all of a sudden the roof drops on your head.
The vehicle play is the destruction.
You've got tanks, you've got jets.
You get a bit sweaty in your palms.
That full, all-out military experience.
Whoa, that looked good.
It's just unlike any other game I've played.
This franchise comes with a long history, spanning over 20 years now. But the question is, how do we continue to build on that and push Battlefield to the next level?
I've been playing Battlefield since long before I joined the team. When 1942 first came out, the amount of fun that we all sat down and had with it is just, still like a fond memory. So in joining the Battlefield team, it was about the opportunity to give the team that space to do something just more amazing even than they've done in the past.
We set out with this ambitious idea of creating this new Battlefield universe. And to make that vision a reality, we had to think big.
That's the COD guy.
Each of our 4 studios comes with its own culture and expertise into what we call Battlefield Studios.
One team that spans across the globe and combines 20 years of franchise experience with emerging talent.
DICE has such a rich history with Battlefield. We've been working on it for years and years. But we also want to do something bigger and better than we've ever done before. And you can't do that with one studio.
DICE is responsible for the multiplayer part of the game, which incorporates things like destruction systems, class play, squad play, vehicles, gadgets, all of those kind of underlying systems that drive the experience.
So here at Motive, we're working on multiplayer maps, and we're also working on single-player mission content.
Oh,
We're driving a cinematic experience to the level that's never been done on Battlefield before.
Ripple Effects has a long history of working on the Battlefield franchise.
We're working on an experience that is really going to open Battlefield up to a whole group of new players, but really still exciting that core audience that has made this franchise so successful.
Criterion have been supporting Battlefield for a decade now, and now we're going to bring that to the table as a fully fledged kind of partner in the Battlefield studios.
Mainly, we've been focused on the single-player experience. So the campaign is back for Battlefield.
We have never before had this many teams and talents dedicated to the development of Battlefield. And we have a plan to create a
Helicopter
new, exciting
sighted.
future for the franchise.
That looked like a Black Hawk to me.
Players.
This game has so much potential. So I think it's about giving the team this time to really hone their craft.
We have to prototype, play test, get feedback,
And then repeat that loop.
over and over and over again. We have to find gameplay that really resonates with the players and then build on that.
Battlefield Labs is our new development initiative where players will get to test specific focus areas in the game.
We've done similar things in the past, but this is a whole nother level. We're doing it before we launch the game, and we're doing it with so much more content.
It's an exciting way for us to interact with our audience before things go live and make sure that what we have is really fun and polished.
And we have to test everything, combat to destruction to maps and modes.
We're going to test all the new features that we're putting out, and we're going to test hardware like weapons, vehicles, and gadgets.
We can try different things, but also validate what players are expecting from Battlefield.
Good old David.
Is crucial in helping us know what to prioritize, what needs improvement, and what feels like a true Battlefield experience.
We're pre-alpha, so now is the time to test all the experiences our teams have been building for our upcoming launch and beyond.
Okay, pre-alpha
Join our
is pretty
Discord,
early still.
where you can learn more about our new closed testing environment. We call it Battlefield Labs. Let's build Battlefield together.
Okay, here we go. Oh, that destruction though, man. Oh, that's it? That's the whole gameplay? Okay. All right, guys.
Learn more.
So I'll take it. Gameplay's gameplay. Let's go through this with a fine-tooth comb here, because
About
this
our
is
new closed testing environment.
that was literally like 5 seconds. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really expect gameplay. I kind of just expected what we got, them talking to us, and what we sort of already knew. You can tell what they're trying to do here, right? They're trying to build trust with the community. They're trying to build loyalty, which makes a lot of sense, right? They really lost face with the entire, not just Battlefield community, but the gaming community at large, I would argue. And now they're trying to build that back up again. But let's just
build Battlefield together.
Okay. We can scroll through this very slow, so let's just wait till we get to some... Okay, here we go. Something fairly clear here. So, this looks like... I'm not great on weapons, I'll admit it freely, but this looks like an M4 or an M16 or some variety for me. I'm sure there's going to be somebody in the chat who goes, "No, Ghost, it's completely wrong, mate." But over on the left side, you can already see the destruction. This looks like the Middle East. And the piece of concept art they gave out yesterday, people have spotted Arabic, and up on the wall here, these look like Arabic posters to me. So it looks like we are going to be going to the Middle East. We've also got the palm trees there in the middle, so kind of a giveaway of the climate. But the graphics, it looks pretty good. There's a lot of motion blur and sort of crazy running around going on in this, so it's hard to tell just how the graphics are. This is clearly going to be on the Frostbite engine, so, you know, who knows what they've updated that to now. Here we can see a bit of an explosion going off. That is, I believe, the tank that we saw in the concept art yesterday. It's like some sort of, what do you call it? Version of the Abrams, basically. I think it's called the... Is it the SEV-3? Something like that. That's going to be in the game. I think it's like one of the more up-to-date modern versions. And big important thing here... You've noticed that the camos and just the way I almost said specialists there, the way the soldiers are kitted out, these are not specialists right here, guys. It looks like, has he maybe got some sort of a goggle on there? But this looks like it could be maybe an assault. I mean, he's got an assault rifle that looks like that, but who knows what kind of class this is. But it looks a far cry from how the specialists look. So they've really made a point of showcasing the destruction in this trailer, haven't they? There are buildings just collapsing everywhere. Here we've got a bit of a transition to go through. So we've got somebody crouching down here behind a bit of cover. There's cover in the game. That's great to see that there are pieces of cover on all of the maps here, which is something, of course, that Battlefield 2042 shipped without any of whatsoever. So that's definitely a win. Wow, another transition already. So this 5 seconds of gameplay, by the way, was pretty much 50% transitions and then like 5% and 50% gameplay. So it's only like 2.5 seconds of gameplay, if I'm honest with you. And that makes it very, very hard to actually tell what the game looks like or what it plays like at all. But hopefully some of us are going to find out pretty soon if we get invited to the Battlefield Labs to playtest it ourselves. But yeah, again, what the soldiers are wearing here looks much more grounded, much more authentic. I think people are going to like this. I don't really know how they're necessarily going to sell skins in that, but in my opinion, that's just EA's problem, not our problem. There's also seems to be some sort of paintings on these massive concrete blocks here. There's some blood coming out of one of these soldiers as he gets shot as he runs by. And then we've got this shot down here. This is the most clear one. We got what I don't know what this is. Some cereal packets or something. Maybe it's popcorn. I don't know. Something flying over there. And this looks like Grand Bazaar. This gives me massive Grand Bazaar vibes from Battlefield 3. I think it's just the Middle Eastern vibe as well that's really making me think BF3. Really, really cool. I think that ticks a lot of boxes for me from what I've seen so far. Again, you know, you can only really judge it on what we've seen. This is, yes, okay, technically, it is pre-alpha gameplay, like it says here, so it shows us what the graphics are going to be like, but I've never really been a fan of this orchestrated gameplay. I prefer to just see, like, a real player playing in first-person view and seeing what they do here. That looks like some sort of a launcher there on the back of one of those soldiers, if I'm not mistaken. But the game does look pretty nice. Bear in mind as well, they have to strike a balance here between the way the game looks and the way the game performs. And I know they have problems with the Frostbite engine in 2042. You'll notice that 2042, it didn't really look that spectacular, did it, if you compare it to Battlefield 1? And it also didn't perform well either. And that's because I think they had difficulty with the Frostbite engine. They lost a bunch of engineers and whatnot. Hopefully now they've rectified those problems. So there we've got a big explosion going off. I think that was a tank shell sort of coming in from this direction, maybe. And this soldier is really reacting to that explosion as well. So, well, yeah, you can really see the concrete blowing out from it. Maybe there's like soldier flinching and that sort of stuff there. Bit of a blue tint there. And now we actually see somebody ADS here to open fire. And just before he opens fire, they're going to go and cut the scene. So that's kind of... Is that like between scenes there? I think it is. We've got some kind of destroyed bus in the middle of the streets. I think we're almost at the end of this. Oh, there we go, yeah. Oh, this explosion looks very much like Battlefield 2042's explosion. This whole shockwave radiating out here, I believe they added that in 2042 because I've never really noticed that before. And I've always thought it looks pretty cool, actually, so I will give them that for the Frostbite engine on 2042. Yeah. I know, Loppa, it looks pretty good, right? Definitely not, like, super overhyped, though. I'm like, okay, this looks cool. It looks like it's going in the right direction. I like the aesthetic. I like the cover. I like the map. I like the theme. What the soldiers are wearing. We've got an M4. That's always a good sign. You know, but there's nothing I've seen that's made me go like, whoa, you know, like blown me away. And I don't think that's their plan here either, right? It's just to sort of lightly start to build up hype around the game. And we are soon coming up to this, yeah, I think this is it here. We get to see some of the destruction, which they really kind of went out of their way to showcase. So just like in BF3, for any of you who remember playing that game, I think, was it Seine Crossing? Yeah, with the river down the middle, the River Seine. You can actually like blow up the sides of the buildings and the rubble would fall down just like this and crush players down on the ground there. And of course they added that in some of the older BF3 maps in Portal and whatnot, but that was something that was lost after Bad Company 2 and Battlefield 3. It's never really gotten quite as good there. Here we see another shot. You can sort of like, if you look at the textures, I know this is a YouTube video, right? And it's very blurry footage and all of that. But the textures here on this soldier just look sort of okay. That being said, it's pre-alpha gameplay. They're not going to be optimizing the graphics. They're not going to be optimizing the performance or anything at this stage. Then again, what pre-alpha actually means is like incredibly subjective. We actually see a soldier up in this window firing down at these guys, so that looks pretty awesome there. Like, when the game is going to actually release, I would guess it's going to be around October, November maybe, at the latest. I think October is going to clash with Grand Theft Auto 6, so, like, is that a game that DICE and EA want to play? I don't know, I guess we'll find out about that. Now, this looks pretty crisp. This looks pretty crisp here. You can see the tank in the background, RPG coming up to take out this dude, and I think we did see this happen, right? Yeah. Let's check out the destruction on that one. Boom. Shockwave going off there. And that guy just got absolutely obliterated. Even these wind... Oh, look at that. That whole section of the building there is falling down. Dude, that looks pretty dope, actually. Is that it? Okay. That's the end of it, guys. Sign up now. So, we're going to finish reading this FAQ in a sec, but what are your guys' thoughts and opinions on this? What do you think so far to that? A lot of reused assets so far. Yeah, they generally do that, I've noticed. Like, if you look between Battlefield 4 and Hardline, they reused a bunch of assets between those games. Like, it was kind of crazy. I honestly doubt it'll drop this year. That call out... Wait a minute. Chat's going way too fast. I missed that one. That call out that we're still in pre-alpha makes me nervous. I would say the same thing, Soldier, but again, we don't really know what pre-alpha means. It could mean so many things. You know, some games call it alpha, and the game is literally like bare bones. There's barely anything in there. I don't think that, even though they want to playtest the game with us, it's still going to be a decent experience. I think the bones of the game are certainly going to be there, and it just really needs the extra polish. So they're probably calling it a pre-alpha to set our expectations in the right place, you know, rather than calling it a beta. I think if you say beta, what does that conjure up in your mind? It conjures up marketing to me, right? That's pretty much what, even though that's not what beta used to mean, you know, 10, maybe 20 years ago, that's what it means for 99% of games these days. It's essentially like a demo of the game. It's a chance for you to try out the game, but otherwise it's pretty much finished. So I totally understand that they didn't want to call it a beta, and so they're calling it a pre-alpha. Does that necessarily mean it's not going to release this year? No, I don't think so. I think it could still. Okay, let's just continue here and finish this up. So what sort of feedback are the Battlefield Studio development teams looking for from Battlefield Labs? So each Battlefield Labs testing session will have specific feedback goals, whether very specific to core combat loops or map layout, for example, or more generic goals around the content being tested and how fun it is for the players. We want to build Battlefield with our community. The Battlefield Studios development teams will be looking at all feedback provided during and after Battlefield Labs tests to inform what we need to prioritize, what we need to improve, and what we need to change to make it an authentic Battlefield experience when we release it publicly. They keep saying authentic Battlefield experience. I think this is the third time that they've put it in this FAQ here, so that's good. They're really trying to hammer that home. Will those invited to Battlefield Labs be able to speak about it or show it? All those invited will need to sign a NDA, as they will not be permitted to talk about it or show anything related to their experience with Battlefield Labs. What that NDA is going to look like is very interesting to me, because like generally as a content creator, you sign NDAs, but if you break them, and some of you will know I've got personal experience with this. You know, generally speaking, you just kind of get kicked out of the content creator program, whatever it is. You don't get to participate in it anymore. But they're not really going to come after you with like legal action and stuff unless you really have harmed the company and made them lose significant amounts of money in a big way. And that generally doesn't happen though. So, you know, if you don't have a YouTube channel or you're not a content creator, you don't really have much to lose except that they won't invite you back to playtest again. What's really to stop people from leaking this? As far as I can see, there's not really a lot, and so I do expect that this will most likely get leaked from somebody. I think it's almost inevitable, and there is so much longing that people want to see the gameplay that it's, I don't know, it's almost a given. But I do hope that people do adhere to the NDAs though, because you know, we want them to do this with us, right? We want them to playtest the game with us. We want to be able to improve it with them. And if we show them that we're just going to leak it and we don't care about the NDAs, then they may just decide with the next game that they're not going to do that. So recommended specs. This is going to be a big giveaway for how the game is going to run. And bear in mind, it's probably very unoptimized at the moment. So Intel Core i7-10700 or a Ryzen 7 3700X, that's pretty low. 3060 Ti or an RX 6700 XT, that is also like fairly low, 16 gigs of RAM. So it sounds like it's going to be easy to run. I don't know what recommended specs here are targeting. I'm assuming this is going to be probably 1080p. I would have said maybe 1440, but it's probably 1080p 60 FPS. But it could be 1440p. Usually these days, minimum specs are like 1080p, maybe somewhere between 30 and 60 FPS. So you can even get away with a 2060 RTX card here, which is an Ryzen 5 2600, which is pretty low. I'm guessing almost all you guys will be able to fulfill these requirements there, so we should be good to go. So what is Battlefield Studios? So this is the banner under which the 4 world-class game development studios across 2 continents have come together to build the future of Battlefield. To make our vision for the future of Battlefield a reality, we had to think bigger than just one studio. We rallied 20 plus years of Battlefield experience, combined them with the best emerging talent in the industry, and united them under a single banner. Go away, device setup. Battlefield Studios. This represents the largest team in franchise history across a world-class group of development studios, focusing on delivering on our ambitious vision for the future full of fun, authentic Battlefield experiences for our community, built on our unique DNA. And they are right about that. Battlefield does have a very unique DNA, and that's what they need to embrace. Stop trying to make the game like Call of Duty. Stop trying to make I don't know, chase trends and just make a good Battlefield game. That's what I want. Who makes up Battlefield Studios? Most of us know this, but let's just finish it. So it's comprised of DICE, of course, the creators of Battlefield, Ripple Effect, and we saw interviews, by the way, with Christian Grass. I think he's the head of Ripple Effect. I'm not sure I got his title 100% correct there, but he is pretty much a legend. He did a lot of the CTE work alongside David Serland to fix up Battlefield 4. Basically, Ripple Effect Studios, they used to be called DICE LA, and when the CTE, or the community test environment, came into play with BF4, they were really leading the charge on doing all of that work. They did a great job there, so I think it's a great asset, actually, to the Battlefield Studios group here. Where am I at here? Okay, a studio, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay. Motive, the developers of the critically acclaimed Star Wars Squadrons, which was decent. I played this one, it was pretty good. And Dead Space, that's the remake, of course. I played that one too, also great. And then Criterion, known for in-depth experience with racing games and a decade of supporting Battlefield games. I'm not really sure what happened with Criterion. I think they kind of shit the bed with Need for Speed in some way, and so they just said, you're coming over to Battlefield now. So I don't know, is that a good thing or not? I'm assuming they're working on the vehicle side of things. Of course, they make car games, so that would make sense, I guess. But yeah, pretty interesting stuff here. Oh, come on though, man. Hardline wasn't that bad. It didn't really deserve the rap that it got, I don't think. Yeah, that's the point. We didn't see an A10 Warthog. Well, they're not going to reveal the A10 Warthog if it's in the game at this stage. I think that's going to come much later on. That's going to be in like the actual reveal trailer. Let's check the comments, dude. We've got to check the comments on this video. I'm going to like this video. I wonder if it's got any dislikes, in fact. Oh, it's actually unlisted. Have they... So, wait a minute. Have they just posted about it on... Oh, they've changed the logo, guys, on Twitter. Yeah, they just posted it on Twitter and then linked to an unlisted video. Let's see what they say here. Okay, they just pretty much repeated what we already know. Guys, by the way, the signups are open, so don't forget to go and sign up. You can just click on this link here. Or if I think I can... Yeah, there we go. I'll post it back in the chat. You guys can find a link towards the top of the FAQ there to sign up. We're back. The Lanky Soldier says, so far I'm happy with what I'm hearing. That gameplay at the end of the new game is definitely giving me some Battlefield 2042 vibes, but in a good way. What? Okay. Animations are more clean. Aesthetic is more appropriate for Battlefield. So far, there's potential. I kind of know what he means with this. The sort of look, like the overall look of it, it did make me think of Battlefield 2042. I don't know if it's something to do with the way the soldiers move. But that was a thought that crept up into my mind. I don't know how you guys felt about it. It's difficult to watch it back again, but that was like my sort of first reaction to it as I watched it. Again, though, that's not necessarily inherently bad. I think that Battlefield 2042 in any way, shape, or form just carries a negative connotation with it. So, like, it just leaves that bad taste in your mouth because of the history and everything. But it was kind of cool to see a bit of an interview. Of course, a lot of what they said here, guys, bear in mind, like everything they said in this video, it was all marketing talk, right? And this is for the investors. So let me be clear about something which I haven't discussed yet. And this is very important. Tomorrow, what day is it? It's Monday. Yes, tomorrow on Tuesday, there is an EA investors quarterly earnings call. And that is where they are going to sit down with all of the EA investors and they are going to go over how they plan to make their investors and all these bankers and people a bunch of money, right? And so this is no coincidence that they have released this and revealed this today. And we've just heard a lot of buzzwords from the people behind Battlefield, from all of the bigwigs at the game director, Vince Zampella, of course, Byron Beed, the Call of Duty guy who's come on there, and then the general manager of EA, Laura Miele. We heard from all of them in this video, and that's probably speaking directly to the investors there. So that was all very investor talky. I don't really put any stake in anything that they say, because at the end of the day, they're pretty much, in my eyes, just corporate bigwigs. The proof is always going to be in the pudding. Wait for the gameplay. Wait until you have played it for yourself during the playtesting thing. You know, I do think overall this is a very positive thing for us as a community, because this shows that they are prepared to actually put themselves on the line and let us play the game. And that, you know, in this day and age of playing games, like if you play a game and it's not a great first impression, even if it's a pre-alpha, a lot of the time people will just say, like, that's the only chance you get. If they don't like it, they will not come back and play it again, because there are just so many other games out there to play, and Battlefield doesn't have a great track record either. So I think the fact that they're willing to put themselves on the line and let us try it out is definitely a good sign. Things do seem to be going in the right direction here, but I guess we'll just see. Is it just me, or was the music straight from Battlefield 3 with the distorted sound at the end? It did sound very Battlefield 3. Should we just watch the, let's watch the gameplay in full speed one last time here, guys.
Let's build Battlefield together.
I think you're right, dude. Yeah, I didn't really hear the music at all when I watched it the first time, because I was so enthralled with what I was seeing. But I think you could be spot on. By the way, guys, if you haven't checked out Game Guides' YouTube channel, go check him out. He has some of, if not probably the best guides I've seen on graphical settings, like any new games that come out, Marvel Rivals, Delta Force, definitely the new Battlefield. He is going to be like the dude to go and check out, get the best settings so you can run the game as optimally as possible. So give him a follow. He's a solid dude. Guys, thank you for hanging out and watching today. Really appreciate you coming with me. Leave all your comments down below in that. I will try to reply to them after the stream, because there's just so many right now. It's kind of crazy. And yeah, hope you guys have a good one. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm going to be covering, as you might imagine, everything to do with this Battlefield game. It doesn't have a name yet. I think it's maybe just going to be called Battlefield, possibly Battlefield 6 with some sort of a suffix like that at the end. But yeah, it's I'll leave it at this. What a time to be alive.